Alright folks, Schneb's back out the shop here. We got the Montana back up on the lift. Okay, so we're going to get digging into this lower control arm, get that thing replaced. I priced out the front bushing, the back bushing, and the ball joint because that's an original control arm and this is an 06. So they're probably also bad. And that's something you don't just want to take it apart and then find out you need a ball joint. So anyways, I priced them all out and it turned out the full assembly, control arm with the ball joint and both bushings was like 20 bucks cheaper than to buy everything individually. So that's a no-brainer there. We're just going to change out the whole control arm.
How's it going?
Getting started. Okay, axle nut may as well be the first thing. Doesn't really matter. I don't have the metric equivalent, but 1 inch and 5/16 fits perfect. Okay, so we got the nut right there. Just take the cotter pin out. That's pretty rusted. It's an easy job. Jack Russell's out here hunting all the rats that are trying to get in the shop for the winter. And yes, you live on a farm, you get rats. Not as bad as the city though. There we go. So it's just a little 18 mil Castle nut. Let's see if I got the magic touch here today. Oh, no magic touch. Okay, we're not saving this ball joint, so this doesn't matter. They actually put a Torx bolt in that. That's gonna be awesome. Okay, so there's our ball joint separated from the steering knuckle. All right. You don't technically need to take the axle nut off like I did, but it allows you to push the axle and gets you more access to that nut that's there because it's sitting in there kind of tight. So we're gonna take these clips off for the ABS sensor. And then we got this bolt here for the front bushing, and this is the one that's all ripped. It's not as easy to see now that there's no tension on it. On the bottom, this one's a Torx, so that ought to be lovely. A 21 nut. Then you got the back one. You got a 19 bolt, 19 mil there. And back here, you have a 21. So just take the 21 nuts off for now and then knock the bolts out. Oh yeah, of course the Torx is moving. Well, at least the back one's cooperating. Okay, so there's the back one. Take the nut all the way off. Push that sucker out. Nothing to that. Okay, so we got our 21 up here with the impact gun, and the bottom is a T55 Torx. This is an impact one, so it's the best one I have. If that don't do it, I don't know what will. Heat. Why Torx, folks? Why Torx? Dumb, 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 dumb. All right, I gotta heat that nut up. Hopefully get this to cooperate a little bit better. We'll try propane first, see what happens. Yeah, I'm not overly confident that that's gonna work. I think I need real heat. Real heat. Got it set real low here. I don't want to risk starting a fire with this thing leaking as many fluids as it is. You can hear the rubber cracking and popping. Come on, get on there. Heat fixes everything, folks. I said it before, I'll say it again. Ow. It's still a little warm. All right, with all that out, there's your control arm. You can see how rusty that one is. Okay, old, new, they are identical in all manner that they need to be. Okay, this one came from A Premium. You can get them right off their website or Amazon. They sell a lot of parts on Amazon as well. And if you're a Prime guy, then free shipping is a good thing, right? Okay, so the ball joint on the old one wasn't actually bad. It definitely looks like original because this has never been, these rivets are factory rivets. They're not bolts. If you get a replacement, they usually bolt in. So it's amazing to me that that's an original ball joint on a 2006. Okay, so the back bushing actually looked pretty good. The rubber's not cracked. The bolt came out real easy, so there was no water getting into it. So that one was fine. The front one, now that we got it out, first off, you should not be able to push that out with one finger. You can see the rust on it. There's been water getting in there for a long time. And that's because there's a giant rip right there, top and bottom. All right, so that's going to account for a lot of slop in there. But on this one as well, you can see here, it's pulled completely away on one side, top and bottom. So really the only part that was holding was this little strip of rubber up front. Okay, you can see it there a little clearer. That's the only thing that was holding that entire sleeve in, because that's ripped clear through. So that definitely needed to be changed out. Again, you could just buy this. I think it's like 35 bucks, but you got to press this one out, clean it up, press a new one in. You never know, especially on an older car like this, if this one's going to be shot until you get it out, because you can't really see much. It's sandwiched in there like that. And the condition of the ball joint is, again, I'm amazed that it's really in as good a condition as it is for the age of the vehicle. I fully expected that to be sloppier than it is, especially because there's not even greasable. But anyway, if you were to put all three in, it would cost more than to replace the entire assembly, so that's what we went with. And even this assembly was only a couple bucks more than just that bushing as it stands. So for me, in this situation, that was the way to go. Let's get this sucker put in. The new one goes in reverse order. You always want to start with that front bolt. Okay, so the back one, you just gotta line it up like so, and slam your nut on. How's that? Clean threads, anti-seize. Yeah, about that much torque. Like so. A ball joint. I had people coming on to me last time I did a control arm one about tightening this back bolt when it's at ride height. Well, that right there is the relaxed position, which is as close to ride height as you need to get. All right. This one here determines whether that's under stress or not. The back one, a 1 degree of rotation is not making any difference back here. You see there, the hole's pointed this way, but the ball joint is kind of going in like this. So if you push it back and line it up, it just makes life a little bit easier. Something like that. There you go. You can see here the clearance you're dealing with. You cannot get that nut in like that. You have two options. You can pull the ball joint down slightly and start it that way, which works just fine, as you can see. Or you can push your axle back like that and get yourself a little more clearance. Now I can fit my whole finger in here. All right, so there are different ways to do it. You can see there's no room there. Anyway, we're gonna tighten that one up now. Okay, the cotter pin they give you is excessively long, so I opted for a nice short one. And the last thing. That ain't going nowhere. Unfortunately, and as is usually the case, these plastic widgets tend to break. I got one in the front, this one's in, that one's not, and then I got the one back here. So I got one of the ones in front is not going to stay. It's busting off. So zip tie time. Not that there's really anything it's going to come in contact with where it's at. I don't like to chance it. Okay, folks. There's your 2006 Pontiac Montana lower control arm assembly. Pretty easy job. Really the only trouble I had was that one nut that needed to be heated up because this is a Torx down here. If that was a regular bolt and I could have got a regular socket on it, I don't even think I would have had to heat it. Why Torx and suspension components, so I'll never understand. But they do it all the time. Hopefully, if you're thinking of taking on this job, I helped you out with some pointers and ideas. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe, folks, and we'll see you on the next one.